Are we live? I think we're live. Okay, this is super exciting. How do I know if any of you are watching? Okay, well, just start sculpting, I guess. Oh, hi, I have 2 people. That's so exciting. Hi. Like, leave a comment so I know who you are. I've never done this before. 4 people. This is so cool. Yeah, this is my first Facebook Live video. I'm Lydia. I'm in the UK. It's like 1 o'clock here and it's super sunny. So this isolation thing really isn't that bad for me. It's all good. I get to hang out in my studio. So hopefully it's like gonna stay nice and sunny and everything's fine. If you're in America and you've just woken up, hi, nice to meet you. 14 people, hi. This is so weird. Yeah, so this is my studio. Welcome. It's nice and tidy for you guys because we've been in isolation for now, like I've got it on my board. This is my 4th day in isolation because the world has gone nuts. Yeah, so hopefully you're all fit and healthy watching this video. Oh, there's 22 of you now. Hi, Jarrod. Hi. This is so fun. I want to do this all the time. This is great. Yeah, this is the sculpture that I'm working on. She's nearly finished actually, so I might actually start doing the silicone layer while I'm on Skype to you. No, I'm not on Skype, Facebook Live. So yeah, it's nearly finished. I thought I'd hold back finishing it so that I could do that in this Facebook Live session. Yeah, so yeah, this is my studio. And it's yeah, it's at the bottom of my garden, so I don't actually have to leave my house in these crazy times, which is nice. Middle of the afternoon here, it's 1 o'clock. So I've had a whole day in here so far. Yeah, and I've got quite a few projects that I actually need to keep doing. So it's been nice to have some time off work. And I know I shouldn't be saying that because the whole world's gone crazy, but I have so many projects that I need to finish, like this girl, which hopefully I can put the silicone on during this hour. And oh, hi Greg from North Carolina. Cool. You're up early? Is it like 9 a.m. there or something? Crazy people. So yeah, this is super exciting. Yeah, so I've got her to finish, which hopefully I can do in this hour. I've got this lady here, which I just cast out the other day. So this portrait, she's nearly finished, but I've got some seam lines still to do on her. She's made out of Portland stone Jesmonite, which is great stuff. I can't represent like Jesmonite enough. I love that material, so definitely give it a try, anybody that's out there that wants to give it a go. I've got her base over here, which I waxed up yesterday, so she's nearly ready to be completed. Yeah, and yeah, I've tidied my studio. So over in this corner here, we've got, hi Gabriel. This is so cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's my shed in the bottom of the garden. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Hi, Chris. Hi. This is so much fun. Yeah, so I've got a little display unit now, which is my tooth plinths with all my wood stored underneath them, so I can actually have my sculptures that are finished on display. So maybe when this whole coronavirus thing is over, people will come and buy them. Any of you want to buy them now, feel free. Yeah, and I was also thinking about doing like over Skype consulting and stuff, so if anybody's interested in that, give me a message. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy, there's like 50 of you now. Oh, that's so funny. Are there any more comments? This is great. Oh, thanks, Jarrod. Thanks. Elsa. Hi, Elsa. Is that am I saying your name right? Hi. Yeah, if you're all in America, good morning. It's the middle of the afternoon here in the UK. Yeah, and I'm just at the bottom of my garden, so I don't have to go out in public and get a disease, which is super scary. But I think we've got it really lucky as artists that we can just self-isolate all the time anyway. Like, we don't want to talk to people. Yeah, I don't know if I'm being too chatty or not. What else is going on? Newfoundland. Hi, Tara from Newfoundland. Nice to meet you virtually. Yeah, so this is what I'm working on at the moment. She's not got a title yet, so if any of you guys could help me out with that, that'd be cool. Like, the whole concept of her is just to do with like movement and like the internal, like the structure of the sculpture and the way that I build it up. So I'm keeping the armature in to kind of give it a loop round back into the piece. I don't know if you can see all the textures. Maybe I can bring you guys a little bit closer without completely ruining my setup. Yeah, here she is, and there's the armature. Look how sunny it is outside. Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, and I guess I could give you a tour of my tiny little shed. So I've got this piece, which is got all the silicone done and ready for the mold jacket. It's a portrait piece of my friend Gaston, which I did when I was on a workshop at Jarrod art space in Catalonia in Spain. I went over there for a week and did a portrait and a painting, which is up on the wall over here. So here are my sculptures and my painting, which I did in the workshop in Spain with Pal Mallory. I don't know how to say his last name. He's one of my best friends. So bad. With Pal and Aldal at Jarrod Art Space. So definitely give that a Google. Follow them on Instagram. Their work's insane. And I went and did an art residency with them in September of last year. Or November. I can't remember. Yeah. So they offer residencies. You just like give them an email and they have a look at your work, and it's so easy to get in. Like, not because it's not worth it, but because they're artists too, and they don't want to do this massive application form, which I know that I struggle with all the time, filling out these application forms for these residencies. And you don't have to pay to apply, you just pay them the studio rent for a month or however many months that you want to be there for. And it's the most beautiful location. I can't recommend it enough. So Jarrod Art Space. Yeah, so these are all my sculptures that are currently finished, ready for purchase if anybody wants to buy them. Yeah, so we'll try and go a little bit closer. Oh, there we go. So we've got this one here is Contact, the white male torso, and then we've got Zephyr, Konstantinos, which I made in Athens. The blue one in the middle is actually the first torso sculpt I ever sculpted, so I'm a bit attached to that one and got to go for a good price, I'm afraid. And then Breeze is bronze, she's and then we've got Perceptions, which is my friend Claire. Yeah, so I'm quite happy that I've managed to get a little display unit going on in here. And finally organised it because of this whole coronavirus thing. So hopefully I'll continue to make more work and keep it tidy throughout all of this. Let's see. Oh, hi from France. Hi. We yeah, Jarrod, we self-isolate anyway. It's so true. Hi from Kent. Oh, hey, Kent. Yes, UK, let's go. The size and movement of this. Oh, thanks. Hi from North Carolina again. Ice storms here, Tara. Oh my god. Ugh, no. I hate the cold weather. We can call her. Oh. Hey Gregory, hi! I'm doing good. Thanks for coming to say hi to me. Oh, thanks, Jarrod. Hi, Brandon. No, thanks for having me. I think this is a great idea. Like, can we just say like a massive thank you to the Shiflett forum, like, because um, it really brings us all together, and we're like in such a tribe of sculptors and artists, and I think it's really, really important for us all to stick together. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are like at the moment with like your lockdowns and everything like that out there, but in the UK, us freelancers, we currently have no support from the government to pay us anything, apart from the job seekers allowance, which is still great that we have, and that's like £94 a week. But you've got over, like, I was in a queue of 26,000 people yesterday trying to get through to get my universal credit. So we're still waiting for the government to try and help us, because I work in the film industry normally. I love it. So I work freelance in the film industry, work on some really cool stuff, and then I kind of do that, and then I come here and I do this. So it was really sad that we all got sent home last Saturday. Just had to pack up our tools, and we were the last UK film studio standing. So we thought for a moment that we were going to break through, and we're like, we can ride this storm together, and we can still come to work. And then the whole country went into lockdown, and we're like, okay, it's time to go home. So that was super sad, but hopefully you guys are all managing and staying sane, and using this time to be positive and do lots of work, and that's what I'm trying to do. And it definitely helps that it's sunny here, so whoever said that they're in an ice storm, I feel so sorry for you right now. I hate the cold. I can't deal with it. I've not gone out for 12 days. Oh my god, no, this is crazy. 12 days. I went out for a really long walk yesterday, and I still live with my family, and they're taking it really seriously, which we all should be doing, and I totally agree with it. But I went for a walk, quite a long walk, for like 4 hours, because it was so nice. I was like, I'm just going to stay here and chill. And I got home, and they're like, where have you been? And I was like, I've been by myself. Like, no one's been near me. I promise I'm safe. So it's really interesting. But anyway, we should probably stop talking about coronavirus and talk about art, I guess, because that's what we're here to talk about. So if you guys have any questions for me, just pop them down and I'll find them. I'm going to find it so hard to actually work while I'm talking to you. Yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Oh, new comments. Yeah, mowing is the way. Mow the lawn. Start growing some tomatoes and stuff so that we can survive in our own homes without having to go to the supermarkets. Yeah. So yeah, any questions? And if I think of anything interesting to talk to you about, I'm sure I will start blabbing again. Yeah. Do any of you do this, where you're sculpting in one hand and you have one tiny little ball of clay in the other, and it goes so dry in your hand to the point where you drop it, and then you're like, oh, that was a waste of clay, and then you just do the exact same thing again. You pick up another one and then by the end of the day, or over a couple of hours, you have all these tiny balls of dried clay on the floor that have just completely gone to waste because you've just been fiddling it while you've been actually working. It's one of those annoying habits that I do, and I just can't seem to break it. Like example A. So annoying. Ah, the clay. This is terracotta clay. So I don't really have a specific clay that I use. I kind of just see whatever I have. So I kind of mix between, but I mainly use water-based clay, just because I like the way that I can like really like quickly push everything into where I want it to be. And then I let it go. Like this is really quite hard at the moment. It's like leather hard, so that when I add the tiny little bits on for final finishing, it doesn't smudge everything out of place. And I found it really difficult to learn how to get the consistency of the clay right, and I think it depends on the person. But I remember, so I did this life size here. Here she is. She was my first life size. Where is she? Let's get a better picture. There she is. That's her. She's in Jesmonite too. I love Jesmonite. Yeah, so when I was sculpting her, I kept her so wet, like, and every time I added a bit of clay, it would just smudge the layer underneath. And she's got so many like pits like in the final cast, because they were just my finger marks, because she was just way too squidgy the entire time. And now realizing it after like years of finally keeping doing this, I'm just like, you want the clay to be hard pretty much before you mold it. That's what I find anyway. And then I'm using all sorts of different silicons at the moment, and it's super exciting. I've been using a putty silicon, which is that purple one over there. Putty silicon that they use at the Florence Academy of Arts, which I think that's the bee's knees. It's so good. And then also the liquid silicon you get from Knot Cuts in the UK, which is also good. It's really good value for your money, but it's so messy, and I tend to waste a lot because it dries in the bowl. Ooh, where are you going from here? What's going through your head at this stage in the sculpt? Okay, cool, nice question. So she's actually nearly finished. So at this point, I'm just going to be looking over her, and one thing I'm learning at the moment is when to be finished. And I'm a complete perfectionist, and I don't want my work to turn into hyper-realistic or too far. I don't want it to lose something. And I noticed that I was losing like the nitty-gritty something when I would work too long on a piece. And I got some really good advice from my friend, who said, when you get bored of the work and you don't want to revisit it, like, you should always just take some time away, revisit it. If you get inspired by it again, then great, then you know it's not done. But if you're starting to get bored with it, and you just have that kind of like niggly thing in the back of your head being like, it's done, then that's when it's time to just be done with it and move on to the next. And I'm definitely getting this way with this lady at the moment. I had a day on her yesterday or 2 days ago where I was like, okay, she isn't quite finished actually. I thought she was, but she's not. But today I think she's going to go under the silicone today. Yeah. But in my head, okay, so in terms of like where I come up with my sculptures ideas from, they literally all just come, I don't know, like, it's really weird. I'll just picture it and I'll see it and I'll know exactly what side it's going to be, what the movement is. It's the tube line. Anybody that's interested in that? Woo, London tubes. We're not actually in London. I'm in the countryside, like out of London, but we still have the tube going past the garden, which I like. But yeah, so I just think of my sculptures in my head. I see them, I visualize them, I know what they're kind of going to be like, and then I learn. So I went and studied with Robert Bowden on 2 workshops after he left the Florence Academy of Arts, and those were the best. Like, I've done some other workshops since, but he taught me the drawing in space technique, and it just allows me to be so much freer with the composition of my sculptures. Yeah, you have your armature wire, which I use aluminium, so you can bend it. So this one, she's got a wooden pole going up to about her belly button, which is screwed down into the base, and then she's got aluminium wire, so I can bend her around. So I'll bend my armatures and put on the rib cage and the pelvis. And then whatever that is at that stage is kind of what it's going to roughly be the pose at the end, because you don't want to change it too much while you're going through it. My laptop's making a weird noise, so hopefully it's not going to die. With 36% left. How long have I got left? This is going so quickly. But yeah, are there any other? I see. Is sculpture clay the same as potter's? No, is sculpture's clay the same as potter's clay? It's not. I'm not so sure. I don't really do ceramics. I really want to get into it, but I've been told by other people that do ceramics that some of them have different like meshes inside them and like fibers, and then they do have a whole different concept to the way that they build it up. So this is completely solid on the inside, and there'll be so many air bubbles in this, and if I wanted to turn this into ceramic, I could, because it is terracotta clay and this can be fired, but I'd have to cut it off the armature and then hollow out each individual section and then stick it back together and then put it in the kiln. And for something as like complex and balanced as this, with like small little intricate details, I don't want to risk losing her. So I'm gonna put her under the silicone, and she's going to be an edition of 9, and hopefully in bronze. Once I get my job back after coronavirus, then we can get some bronze manufacturing out. Yeah, it's the best wire, and I'm sure you guys have all heard of Tarantes. Love Tarantes, so that's where I get all my tools from. This is my favorite tool. I love this dude. That's the best place for you to see it. So it's like really serrated edge. I just use it for everything. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then this one, which I edited myself. It's nothing fancy. And then actually what I find to be really good, so to oil my tools, I was putting them in like linseed oil and stuff like that, but it just wasn't getting, it's like slippery enough. So I melted down some monster clay in my slow cooker, and then would dip my tools into the monster clay, take them out of the monster clay. All of the oil from the monster clay would get absorbed into the tool, and then I would scrape off the monster clay, and I would do this. I did this like 3 times with this one, and it's my favorite now because it's the perfect, it's just really nice and oily. So that was kind of a happy accident. So I give that a try. Like, coat your tools in monster clay and let them soak in it, and they just absorb all the oil, and then you just melt the oil, and you just melt the monster clay back down again. But I do that in a slow cooker. Hi Tom, nice to meet you. This is so cool. I have 60 of you watching me now. It's crazy. I was starting a YouTube channel, and I've still got it. It's called In the Studio, and I just come and kind of talk like this and show tutorials and stuff like that, but I haven't done one for a while because I got really busy. But now we have in our hands, so I'm probably going to do another one and come up with a topic. So if any of you guys think of a topic that you want me to talk about, go for it. I guess I could, yeah, like, so when I say I work in the film industry, yeah, so I work in the film industry, the UK film industry, in construction, sculpting, and as part of construction sculpting, we do architectural details for the sets, and we do big polystyrene sculpting as well. So I've done big tree sets, which were like 50-foot high trees, and we're all in our harnesses and we're climbing up these polystyrene trees, and it's really fun. And yeah, we use a hot wire to cut everything, and it's all templated out, and there's teams of like 20 of us making these sets. So I did that for Star Wars, which was pretty cool. Rise of Skywalker. So I haven't done it, but if there are, if you see the big like creepy tree set, I made that with some other very talented sculptors. Yeah, so I kind of do carving and clay sculpting, but clay sculpting is definitely my favourite, and I just can't get enough of it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, when I work in the movies, I do that, sculpting and construction, which is architectural details, polystyrene sculpting. We sometimes get the odd figure, but I am yet to do a figure for a movie yet. It is up there on the list of things that I want to achieve. I'd also like to go into creatures too. I'd like to have a movie in the creatures department, because that would be super fun. But yeah, so I do that freelance. So I do that for a couple of months, and we finish at 4, which is great. So then I come back and I'm in my studio 2 hours before then I feel like I've had a full working day. So I'm trying to balance being a freelance film sculptor and trying to make it as an artist within my own right, which is a challenge, but I love it. Yeah, and yeah, some of the films that I've worked on are Dr. Dolittle, which should be coming out soon, hopefully, with Robbie Downey Jr. That was really fun to work on. Did Game of Thrones, which was awesome, season 8. So I went and lived in Belfast for 2 months and I did that. Best job ever, loved it. Star Wars, like I said. I'm currently working, was currently working for Marvel on a new movie, which I can't tell you what that was. Tomb Raider, yeah, so that's what yeah, it's cool, I love it. And I've been doing that for 3 years in the UK film industry. And yeah, I graduated 3 years ago from Wimbledon College of Art in London, where I specialised in figurative sculpting. Yeah, and it was really cool. Yeah. Have anybody said anything else? Yeah, I'll say that tip again. So anybody that missed it, oiling your tools, melt down some monster clay, soak your tools in the monster clay and do it like 3 times, and then just like scrape the monster clay off, and it like seeps into the wood so nicely. It's so good. And when you buy your tools, I always edit them a little bit, like sand them down to make them like nice and sharp, or change the curve, because they're just not, they're great, but you can do it yourself better after you've already got them, I think. Annie, hey! My friend Annie has just joined the chat. She's amazing. You should follow her. Annie Tempest. She's a sculptor too. She's from the UK. She's also a cartoonist, and she calls me Zazu as my nickname, and I love it. She can call me Zazu all she wants. Thanks, Jarrod. How to improve on face sculpture? Yes. And what errors are made more frequently in sculpting the face? Okay, so bone structure, bone structure, bone structure. So you really have to look at the skull shape, and it's something that I got so bored with when I was learning it, because I was like, I want to sculpt the skull, I want to sculpt the eyes and the nose and the mouth and the ears and all the nice like fiddly bits. But I am so obsessed with skulls now and like bone structure and all of the shapes, because that's where you get the angles, and that's actually where you get the likeness. So a tip from me would be, well, I want to teach you, like, have to do a workshop with me. I'll be doing Skype workshops, so we can do that. And yeah, go to my website, any of you, it's in the link, and you can contact me on there through email. If you're interested in showing me any of your sculptures, and like I can give you tips on them and whatever. But face, go back to that question. How improve the face sculpture and what errors are more frequent? Okay, errors, don't rush into getting into the features. I know they're the most exciting bit, but you can't figure out where to put the features if you haven't got the face, if that makes sense. So I always work outwards in. So I will start off with the skull shape, and I will keep it completely bald but always draw the hairline in. So I always start a sculpture at the profile. So I'll look at the profile of the head, the profile of the face, and just keep checking where all my lines are. And I'll work from the neck up, chin, and like slowly just changing the profile until I'm happy with the profile. When I'm happy with the profile, that's when I turn it to the front, and then I start building it out. And this is where your brain kind of plays tricks on you a bit, and it's really hard, because you start off kind of like really thin and like a pancake almost, like, but you don't want it to be like a pancake because then it just will fall apart. So you kind of want like a light bulb to start with. So if you just have like a light bulb face, kind of like that big inside the face, and then you put the profile in, and take measurements with calipers if you need to, and all that stuff, but I don't anymore because I find that I get more interesting sculptures when I don't measure things, and I've completely let go of trying to get a likeness unless someone has commissioned me specifically to make that person. I use every single human being as just a reference point. They're my starting inspiration, and I'm just going to let my imagination change them into whatever I want them to be. So like this lady here, it's my friend Heather, and I completed this when I was with Annie at her studio. So we went and had a week together where I finished this sculpture here. But yeah, so this was based on my friend Heather, and then I turned her into an Egyptian because I felt like it. You know, I think it's important not to stick too much to the rules, but learn the rules first, and then you can do anything you want. It's great. What brand of armature wire did you say I used? I use aluminium, which Americans call aluminum, which is the better word by far. It's this stuff. So I have a big reel of it. I use the square one instead of the round one because what I do is I get two lengths of this square one, and then I put them in the end of a drill and then bolt the other end together, press the drill to go, and it twists them together, and then that makes it more sturdy, which is what I've done with this one here, if you can see. So it's got two bits of this twisted together to make that, and it makes it stronger. Oh wait, I have an example here. This is like a dead armature from ages ago. If I can even get it off the stand. There we go. So it's like all twisted together. Aluminium armature. That's the one. And you can get it from Tarantes in the UK, and they ship worldwide. Okay, 9 new comments. Let's see. Annie, thank you. Patrick, hi, great to see you too. Karen, is it because of my accent? I've never seen square wire. Tara, where are you? What country are you in? Are you in New Orleans, did you say? Go on the Tarantes website. Love it. Armature wire section. Find the square one. They come in different thicknesses. I think you want the medium thickness. The speaking of my word. The thickest one is this one, which is really thick, and I can't twist that. I don't have the manpower. Actually, I don't have power. We're just going to get rid of that man thing. I don't have the strength to twist this into each other. I will need to learn how to do that because I've got a life-size commission that's possibly going to go ahead next year. And I love aluminium. It's the best kind. So, but yeah, don't get this stuff. It's so thick. Yeah, never seen the square one. Canada. Okay, you're in Canada. Then Tarantes will ship to you. It might cost a lot. So like maybe like if you know any other sculptors or anybody else that wants to order from Tarantes, like get into a group with them and then get an order out. Jarrod, you haven't seen the square one either. Okay, I'm gonna post a link to it I'll post a link to it on the forum from the Tarantes website so that you guys can get hold of it because it's so much better than the round one. Okay, Tarantes is Tirantes. I'm dyslexic, so that was just really difficult. Yeah, and use pliers. I could use pliers. I could use big pliers for that. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Annie. Okay, look in the comments, guys. Annie has just shared the Tarantes website. That wire is great. I used it a few times in the UK. Greece. They'll ship to Greece. Iris, if you're in Greece, get in touch with Robert Bodum. He's in Athens, and he might be interested in talking to you to share orders, so that then you don't have to spend so much on shipping. Justin, hi, it's going good. Love this Facebook Live thing. Wish I could do this all the time. Such a great day. Yeah, what else? I'm not gonna get any work done. It's not gonna happen. Oh well, it's just an hour. Ooh, silicone. These things are great. I've got to show you them. Okay, these things. So when you're molding, you can, like, if you create silicone strips with some bandage stuck into the silicone on the back, and then you cut them up, and then you pin them around the seam line, and then that's what you can then put your shim or your playing cards in instead, so you don't have to use drippy silicone to then stick it all, because they're already pre-made. And then these are keys, which are super good. So they're the same. They're like silicone, like nobule things, and I stole them. I didn't steal them. That's wrong. That's wrong. I didn't steal them. Promise. I made them while I was at uni, because my technician at uni is amazing. His name's Martin Hansen. He's the best mold maker I know. He comes up with the most amazing ideas. He used to work, and still does work, at Man and Two Swords in the UK, and he's phenomenal. He's fantastic. So if any of you need a mold maker or need any help to do with mold making, one, you can ask me, but two, like, get in contact with me and I'll give you Martin's details, because honestly, I don't know about a mold maker at all. Like, he's incredible. No problem, Iris. Yeah, get in touch with him. Anyone. Yeah. Like, all group together on these things. If you want to, like, buy from Taranti, which is annoying because it's in the UK, just maybe post it on the forum and be like, hey guys, I want to order this from Taranti. Who else wants some? And then we don't have to, like, share. You can all share shipping. I guess. Do I ever order anything from America? I don't know. I don't think I do. But yeah. Any other questions? Don't really know what else I can talk about. Maybe, I guess I always knew I wanted to be an artist. I just didn't know what type of artist I wanted to be. And then when I found figurative sculpting, I just got so obsessed with it. It incorporates, like, all of the things that I'm interested in. Like, I'm a complete anatomy nerd. I love it. Like, my first sculpting teacher, who I went to when I was 16, he wouldn't let me into the sculpting studio unless I'd revised and knew the 3 muscles that he told me that I wanted, that he told me that I needed to learn, and where they were and how they worked. And I am actually so thankful for that, because I wouldn't have remembered unless he pressured me into remembering them, because he wouldn't let me in. He was like, you are not coming in here if you don't know where your sternocleidomastoides is, or your gluteus medius, or your trapezius. And I was like, oh my god, but I want to sculpt. So I love anatomy, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I guess. And I find figurative sculpting so difficult. It never gets easier, ever. So that's probably why I still like it. I'm just going to have to plug my laptop in 1 second, because I don't want to lose you. So bear with me 1 second, because this is really draining my battery. Yeah, I guess who's, like, is anybody new here? Do you need a tour of the studio? 3 new comments. What was working on Game of Thrones like? Oh, Jarrod, it was incredible. I don't want to like, I can't like, okay, I don't know who's seen it and who's not seen it, and hopefully you've all seen it, and if you don't know what it is, then great. But you know, the throne room and what happens at the end with the dragon, to anybody that's not seen it, I'm trying not to give spoilers, but what the dragon did, I did. So there was a team of sculptors that were actually the dragon. So we did what the dragon did in the throne room. So we did all of that. Sat in the throne. I sat in the throne, which was pretty cool. And there were some really cool parties, I can't lie. Yeah, it was very, very awesome. Belfast, you all have to go. I don't care where you live, you have to go there. It's amazing. It's one of the friendliest places I've ever been, and I loved it. To this day, it's one of the best jobs I've ever worked on. And I don't want to boast about it too much because it was incredible. Yeah, so Jarrod, it was great. Hello, Julio. Is that how I say your name? Any particular sculpt goal? Yes. So, my goals. I want a public sculpture in London, figurative, abstract, combination of all of it. I want it to be in London. I want it to say something. I want it to mean something, and I want people to be able to connect with the human form again and find it interesting instead of thinking it's past it, because it's not. It's so not. And I want people to appreciate the skill of figurative sculpting. So that is one of my goals. Public sculpture, life size, over life size in London. That is the dream. And I'm gonna do it. And to be represented by a gallery would also be nice. So I'm also at this stage where I'm creating new work. I actually have a solo show coming up with a bar in Bethnal Green in London, but everything's obviously cancelled at the moment. So I'm in the process of creating work for that. I don't know, and also to teach, because I love this so much that I want other people to love it too. And I've been doing my own workshops within schools, and I was teaching at this girls' school, and I did it with six students, and there were two of those girls. They all loved it. They all had a great time, and I was really thankful that they did. But there were two of these girls in this workshop. They were like, "We want to do this. Like, we want to be like you, and we want to do figurative sculpting." And I was like, "Yes, just made 2 more figurative sculptures. Like, let's go." And I think it's really important for people at schools to be told that they can do it, because there's so many artists or people that I've met that wanted to do art and they gave it up because people said that they couldn't do it. And I got told that I couldn't do it. And I just thought, no, I am going to do it. Thank you very much. Like, even my dad was like, you should do ICT, because at least you'll then get a job and you can work in an office and you can earn some money. And I was like, Dad, you don't know me. Obviously he does, he's my father. But I'm going to do art. And no one can tell me that I'm not going to make it, because I am. And I think it's a point of, it's really hard sometimes. And it's so hard sometimes because you wake up sometimes, you're like, what am I actually doing? Am I ever going to make it? But I think it's about the journey along the way. And I am so thankful for everybody that I've met and this amazing sculpting community that I've managed to build, firstly in the UK, that has now grown outside of the UK and within Spain and Germany and America and Athens. And I actually came to America in January. I went to New York and LA and San Francisco. And if any of you know San Francisco, there's a group of sculptors called Dogtown Sculptors, and they have their own studio, and they just charge people like $20 to come and sculpt with them and the life model. So me and my friend Sam, that we were traveling together, me and her both went to Dogtown Sculptors, which was in Oakland. Yeah, am I getting my American places right? Which was in Oakland, which is next to San Francisco. I feel like I've got that wrong, but yeah, so go and visit them. they were really nice. I went and saw IES Studios in New York, so I went and talked with them, and David Simons in LA. If any of you haven't checked out his work, definitely should. So I went and met David Simons in LA, and he was lovely, and we had like the most nerdy sculpture chat for like 2 hours, which was really good. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. Sometimes I'm crying all day because I'm like, no one's buying my work and I haven't got a job. What's the point? But I like to think of myself as the forever optimist, and you're the like I listen to motivational videos, and that's what gets me going most of the time. And there's one quote that I will never forget, and it says, "The person that says they can do it and the person that says they can't do it are usually always right." So if I'm sat there thinking I can't do this, I'm not going to do it. But if I'm sat there thinking I can do this, there's a very high possibility that I will. Giles, hi, nice to meet you. Ralphie, hi, hello. Awesome, we want more streams like this in the group. I can do that, that'll be super fun. Like, I like talking to people. I also like being by myself, but I don't know how long we're going to have to be in isolation for. Is it going to be like 2 months? Oh my god. So I'm going to need you guys. I'm going to need you. Wow, you did that. Congratulations. Thank you. Hi, Julia. So cool. Any particular sculpting goal? Already answered that one. We just got some hellos. Yeah, this is so much fun. What else? I've got these 2 little guys here, which I'm thinking of like compiling together in like a weird kind of thing. They're so like quick, and I did them at work on my tea break. Because I'm a workaholic, like let's just face it. Yeah, so I'm going to put them together like that on a board, maybe cast them out in bronze Jesmonite. I love Jesmonite. Yeah, what else? For this. Ooh, this is exciting. So after I finished this lady, I've got this maquette here, which I also did at work on my lunch break because I'm a workaholic. This dude. I'm going to turn him into a life-size sculpture. It's happening. I really like him, and I'm probably actually going to, he's the maquette, and he wasn't going to be a maquette, he's going to be a finished piece. And he's just this like grey clay that's just dried out. Yeah, so I guarantee when I do the life-size version, I'm not gonna like it as much as I like this. But we'll see. I want to do something big. The next one's going to be big. It's going to be a big piece of work. Like I did some small things, and people are like, "Oh, you'll sell those because they're small." Oh, that's a tip. Tip, guys. Never do anything because someone wants you to. Like in terms of art, everything I make is because I want to make it, and I've got more positive feedback off anything that I've made because I want to, instead of someone saying you should make this because it will sell. 99.9% of the time that I've made something because I think it will sell, it's never sold. Never. I made these. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. I didn't enjoy doing them, and I thought, oh, it'll be super easy. It's like a unicorn relief thing. I did them with Annie. Annie, if you're still watching, you remember these. I was at Mapstone Studios in the UK in Devon, which actually you all have to go to. Google it, Instagram it, Mapstone Studio. Do it now, because I would not be the sculptor I am today or the person I am today without meeting and spending time with the people that I met at this studio, and I love them. But yeah, so I made these in my work breaks because a gallery said that they would sell them. Did they? No. And I hated making them. It was a waste of time for me, for the gallery, and hey, if you like it, you can buy it, but I don't like it. So, yeah, I would say only make your art for you. And if someone wants to buy it, that's great. But you will also believe in it more because you made it and you know what it's about and it's part of you. So, like, most of my pieces of work that I make are actually focused on something that I've been through, on a feeling that I'm conveying, and I don't even realize that's what the piece is about until I've made it. It's very rare that I will start a piece of work knowing exactly what I'm going to make and how I'm going to make it and what the meaning is behind it, because my process is probably quite emotional, like classic artist. Yeah. Oh. Best trip, yes it was, Annie. Best trip. Great advice, thanks, Ralphie. Cast him and make copies. Yeah, I think I'm going to, Tara. I really like him, so I'm going to. Yeah. What material am I using to sculpt? This is terracotta clay. I use water-based clay the majority of the time, unless I'm doing really fiddly hands on a small sculpt, or I'm doing a relief. But I don't like oil-based clays; they just don't work for me. But I know so many of you love them, and totally appreciate that you do. But I find them really frustrating. I would go water-based clay all the time, but you just have to make sure you maintain it and wrap it up. Top tip: when wrapping up your sculptures with like rags and stuff so they don't dry out, mix it with a very small solution. Mix a warm water solution with a little bit of bleach in, and it keeps the rags moist for longer, and it means that when you're wrapping a sculpture for a long period of time, like a week to a month, it actually stops the sculpture from getting moldy. Yeah, so a little bit of bleach in there. Horrible, so below your skill level, Annie. Yeah, I hated making those things. It's basically the difference between artistry and craftsmanship. I completely agree with you. So when I work in the films, I'm a craftsman because I make what the designers tell me to make. I enjoy making them, and I will always do a good job for them because it's my job too. But I wouldn't make half the stuff that I've made. Like, I've made stuff that's been Aztec themed, like Rococo themed, space themed, and I would never pick to do any of those things because it's not my personal style. And it's also important to leave your personal style at the door when you go into these film studios sometimes, because the designer doesn't want your personal style. They want your hands and your brain. They don't care whether you like it or not, because they're doing their job of creating it, and that's fine. That's their job, and we're doing our job of making it, and it pays the bills. But we can have a good time doing it. And artistry is when I come back into the studio here. Yeah, so that's a very, very good point. Sometimes we have to leave our egos at the door and be a craftsman just to pay the bills. And we all have egos as artists. I used to think that I didn't, but I do. I want people to like my work. I want to do what I want to do for my work, and that's perfectly okay. It's your work. Make whatever you want to make. Word. I agree. Word. See, we don't say word in the UK. Like, you guys' slang is great. I love it. How long have we got to go? 6 minutes. Okay, 6 minutes left. Final questions. Let's do this because I talk way too long and I knew I would get no work done in this hour. So yeah, go for it. Quick, 6 minutes. Lydia Spinneth, truth. I speak my brain all the time, and I haven't got into trouble. I haven't got into trouble with it yet. But I think it all just comes from self-confidence, and it took me a long time to build it up. And I think, yeah, everybody's opinion matters, so you should just say it. Do you ever get burnt out doing other ideas? Yeah. Well, I get burnt out because I come out with too many ideas. If that's the question you're asking. But I've got so many things that I want to do. Like, so I've got a life-size commission for a bronze sculpture to do in a garden in France next year, which I'm budgeting and having to talk to like structural engineers and like trying to design it, trying to get funding for it, and all this other stuff. Trying to like apply to art sculpts to make that project happen. So I've got that. I've got that life-size mail that I want to do. I've got this to finish. I have several other things that I need molding. So my brain is constantly burnt out. That is I'm burnt out all the time. I can't read that language. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I work for models or photos? So I do a bit of everything. I used to work with models a lot at college and when I do workshops. I've never had a model actually in the studio for me apart from the portrait model. I work from photos, but most recently I work from imagination. So this piece here is just from imagination and from my anatomy knowledge. I haven't actually turned it around, so I should probably do that. Yeah, so I just make sure that I've got all my anatomy roughly in the right place, and I'm trying not to get so precious with it these days. And just working for imagination and the occasional reference photo from Google of like, I always Google things like woman with her arm up and like stuff like that, or I look at myself in the mirror. Yeah, my Google search history is so weird, like man tying his shoelace, or I don't know, just so that I can get the right angle of what I want to see for my sculpture. Yeah. But I'm trying to control my perfectionism. Okay. Any more questions? I'm gonna have to go offline in 4 minutes. This has been so much fun. Anna, hi! My friend Anna from uni has just joined. It's so great. I've not seen her in ages. I hope she's doing well. Where is my studio? My studio is in Buckinghamshire, in Amersham, in the UK. I'm just on the outskirts of London, and I don't know how many of you are. There's 60 of you watching, so some of you have probably seen the tube go past my garden, just in the back there. So I'm not that far out of London, which is nice, because I can pop in and see my friends whenever I want, and I'm close to the film studios, which is where I work. So I'm so fortunate as to where I live. I've asked that question. Yeah, any more questions? We've got a few minutes left. It's been so much fun. I think it helps to be a perfectionist as a sculptor. I do agree with you, Brenda, but it's also the thing that has held me back in the past. I think there's just a point where you just have to let go and you have to let your inner spell come out, and you just have to be like, this is me, this is my work, I've taken these steps to do this. If you don't like it, someone else will. So this is me, and be a perfectionist to however far you want to take your perfectionism, and as long as it resonates with you. Oh, thank you. Hello from Canada, Matt. Hi. Where are your kilns? I don't have kilns, so I mold and cast my work, which is like this dude here. So he's got putty silicone going on, and then I cast them out myself in like jesmonite and plaster and all those kinds of things, so they're hollow on the inside. Yeah, so I do silicone molding. I am wanting to get into ceramics, but not yet. Welcome. Thank you for checking in. Yeah, Matt, it's so true. We can never be perfect. That just doesn't happen. It's an artist's blessing and a curse. Once it's perfect, you're done, and you need to find a new career. We're never done, and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, so I don't want to ever be done. Annie, thank you, Zazu. I love you. I like talking, what can I say? But yeah, we've only got 20 seconds left. And yeah, Jarrod, like this forum is amazing. So like, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you like my studio. And yeah, hopefully we'll do this again sometime. Like, we're all in isolation, so that's that. But yeah, right. I'm signing off. That's my hour done. And I got no work done. So thanks. Bye. Happy sculpting. Oh, wait. Keep inarting on. Yeah, I will. Thank you.